My chosen discipline is art, and the contextual perspective I chose is how to portray the character's personality through design, using shapes and colours. I did further research into this topic. There is a channel on YouTube I frequently watch called Lavender Town. She makes videos giving tips and explaining character design, colour theory, and a popular series of videos on her channel is Do's and Don'ts, and each video covers a different topic, for example, colours or how not to colour your characters. I also watched a few documentaries about the creative process of making a character and different ways of idea generation. I also did research on the term mise-en-scène, which is mostly used in the film industry. However, the meaning can be applied to any visual media. Mise-en-scène is everything that the viewer sees: the colours, lighting, object composition, etc. A good documentary about mise-en-scène is Kubrick's Colours. It talks specifically about how the filmmaker Stanley Kubrick uses colour in his films to portray emotion. Everything can be broken down into simple shapes, and those shapes can tell a lot about a character. For example, people are usually afraid of pointy and sharp things like knives and needles, etc. So a character which is made up of triangles may be dangerous and or evil. Squares, and sometimes rectangles, can be seen as broad and strong and possibly balanced, since squares have 4 lines of symmetry. Superhero type characters tend to be made up exclusively out of squares, and rectangles to make the viewer feel like they can rely on them. Circles are seen as non-threatening since they have no sharp edges. They can also symbolize the planet we live on or the circle of life. Characters made up of circles and ovals will be seen as friendly, optimistic, and not dangerous. Colours are often symbolic and represent something. For example, red represents passion, danger, anger, or blood. Green represents nature, health, luck, and hope. Blue represents sadness, calm, cold, or it can also represent responsibility. Yellow represents joy, optimism, sunshine, and it can also represent friendliness. Pink represents love, acceptance, calm, and creativity. Black represents evil, death, mystery, or power. White represents purity, good, snow, and simplicity. Black and white are the core colours for good and evil. However, the combination of both can be seen as balance, since there is good and evil and good. However, there are some exceptions, and there's loads of examples, but my favourite being Seraph of the End, where the vampires, who are the villains, wear white, and the heroes wear black. In conclusion, anything and everything can be deconstructed into basic shapes, and you can tell a lot about a character from their design. Humans naturally associate shapes and colours with emotions. A few things I learned or expanded my knowledge on is how to create colour palettes for characters to match their personalities and roles in stories. I also learned how to set an atmosphere and mood using colours and or object composition. I also learned how to predict the character's role in a story before it's revealed, which is quite annoying when you're trying to watch a film and you already know who's the villain. Thank you so much for watching this presentation.